Hey there. If you're new, welcome to the way station, and if you're returning, welcome back. My name is Leo, and I will be your guide today. So this is going to be um for Libra suns, risings, moons, and Venuses. Uh, take it as it resonates. Leave whatever doesn't work for you, and it's going to be for the month of August 2019. So, all right, let's get right into it. Libra, it seems as if, well, just to start off, the last month or so has been, I wouldn't say it's been as rough on Libras as it usually could be. It seems as if the last month or so was just a time where you were either learning how to be around other people again, learning how to re-socialize, or just getting clear about your direction in life and the path that you're getting ready to take, or the next step for you. Because moving into August, with the first two cards out being the Ace of Wands and the High Priestess, I feel as though you've taken the time to get really, really clear about, for one, what it is you want to start, and two, um, learning how to act on your intuition and no longer, excuse me, doing the up and down, back and forth, the very much so indecisive sort of ping pong game that Libras know how to do, or not know how to do, but have a tendency to do. Now, with the Hermit card and the Five of Cups coming out after this, I feel as though the first week or so of August is going to be all about again learning how to do things with your intuition and following that, and not being afraid to just listen to that gut feeling and stop trying to logisticize it, but also taking the time to do some introspection about where it is you may still be stuck emotionally over the last month or so. Now, with these eclipses that we've had in both Cancer and Capricorn, with the one in Cancer happening in your 10th house and then the one in Capricorn happening in your 4th house, Libra, well, depending on your rising sign, um, there's been a lot of restructuring that has been going on for the last few years or so, and this last month of July has been the wrap up. It's been all about, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, because this next phase that you're getting ready to move in with the eclipses that have happened in your 10th house of career and finance, that is the prettiest, like, black and white butterfly. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. um, it's about getting clear about who stays and who goes, who's actually conducive to your growth, and who um, is just a leech, pretty much, who's like trying to feed off of your light, or the fact that you have all this social acclaim and the connections that you make with people, and sort of using you as their quote unquote hype man. How, I guess, take it if that works for you. I don't know where that's coming from, but anyway, again, with the Hermit and the Five of Cups here, Libra, if there is anywhere where you are still grieving over something that can essentially be tied to crying over spilled milk, whether that be mistakes that you've made in the past, relationships that you've had to let go of, connections, friendships that you've had to let go of, business opportunities that have either been taken away from you or that you had to walk away from, I think you'll find a lot of healing and a lot of understanding if you start to be really, really honest with yourself and utilize this Hermit energy to understand and recognize why those things didn't work out, or why those connections and friendships didn't work out. Because again, with the Ace of Wands and the High Priestess here, I feel as though, like, off rip, Libra, you knew that whoever it was you were trying to invest into, whoever it was you were trying to connect with and be friends with, you knew they weren't right for you. And you knew that in some way or another, those relationships or those connections were superficial, and you felt it in your gut before you started to do the compare and contrast in your head that whatever it wasn't something that you were supposed to go into. Now that it's been taken away from you, or it's been cleared out with the eclipses, let it go. There's literally nothing more that you can do other than think and ruminate on this situation. Um, there's just honestly and truly no analyzing of whatever it was that, see, like I said, Two of Swords with the Two of Cups. There's really no depth of thinking that you can do when it comes to why these connections didn't work out, why you couldn't, well, yeah, just why they didn't work out. Because, Libra, as you are still sitting and ruminating over whatever was spilled, you block yourself out from the new beginnings and the new connections that you can make. If there's relationships and things in your life right now, because that is something that Libra is connected to with, like, Venus energy and being connected to the 7th house, relationships are very important to you. But when you are constantly crying and grieving over the ones that didn't work, you stop yourself from being open to the new ones that will be grounded in something that's a lot more real and has more depth to it and has more emotion and feeling in it. So, in saying all of that, Libra, if there's somebody that you want to reach out to, if there's somebody that you want to talk to, some amends that you need to make, I feel as though August is going to be the month where that happens with the Ace of Cups here. August is going to be the month where this healing is provided to you, especially in regards to love and especially in regards to emotional fulfillment or just heart healing. But you won't be able to receive it if you're not allowing yourself to be open to it again by staying in your head, staying in this cave, and constantly crying over why it didn't work or just trying to figure out why it didn't. Forget why it didn't work. Well, I would say forget constantly thinking about it and just change your actions, because words will only do so much, and you know that, Libra. Words are superficial in a lot of cases. So this is the month where, as we delve into this Leo energy, as we delve into this heart energy, it's time to get real about how you feel about things. Like I said, again, if there's someone who you want to extend this love to, stop worrying about how it ended and just be more concerned with, for one, what actions you took in this connection for it to become, I guess you could say, toxic or just something that wasn't going to work out. Change your actions and then try again. Because I feel like whoever this is, like if this is a person that you want to reconnect with, see, Libra, okay. If this is a person that you want to reconnect with, I think they want to reconnect with you as well. It's just a matter of both of you being closed off and feeling as though, with the Moon, the Nine of Cups, and the Emperor here, as if you're just better off going your separate ways. Now, in some cases, this is true. If there is a connection in your life that just won't work for how, like, it just will not work regardless of what you try to do, how often you try to fix it, how often you try to make amends, let it go. Focus on you and your happy, Libra. Because I feel like another thing that a lot of Libra placements have been going through within this last month or so is learning how to choose you over the connections in your life, because Libras have a very bad habit of sacrificing themselves and sacrificing the things that they want and need in order to provide for somebody else who doesn't do the same for them. So they end up in these Five of Cups situations where they don't feel as though things are reciprocated, that they will struggle to make deeper connections because they spend so much time just staying on the surface out of fear of going deeper. But regardless of all of that, Libra, if that's not the case, if this situation can be repaired, open yourself up to it. Allow for those feelings to come out. Stop trying to be so stop trying to be so, I don't need a relationship, I don't need a partner, I don't need any of this. When in reality, it makes you feel like this. It makes you feel trapped not to have somebody to connect with and talk to, and have somebody that actually understands your feelings and all of that. Just see again. Because Libra, I feel as though when you do decide to let yourself out of whatever this cage is, whatever this self-imposed prison is, when it comes to being comfortable with people, actually expressing your true feelings and not really being afraid of the consequences, that's when you're able to make something more real. That's when you're able to have something more stable. So if you're one of the Libras that have been jumping from relationship to relationship, because that is something that Libras do when they can't find the perfect partner or the one that makes them feel the most at home, this is going to be a time where you just need to get clear about why you're doing that. Why do you feel as though you have commitment issues, and where do you feel as though they're stemming from? Get to the bottom of it. Don't dwell and don't brood about it, but get to the bottom of it. Understand it, so that when you have these new connections and when this new love starts to show up in your life, whether that be in business, whether it be in platonic relationships, romantic relationships, whatever the case may be, you're able to move forward with an open heart and a feeling of more emotional security in self, so that you are not so afraid of commitment and you're able to make these stable foundations with people that will actually last in the long run. So it's gonna be an interesting month, Libra. Again, every new This could also be about you knowing that you have a lot of new opportunities coming. Now, also, if you're dealing with the Pisces, with the Ace of Wands there, is looking like they trying to, do the do or whatever. But regardless of what that's about, listening to your intuition and only moving when you feel prompted and not trying to argue with yourself, it brings you just so much joy, and you feel like you have a lot more control again over your actions, over your desires, over everything that's going on in your life. Because Libras can feel as though things are just always shifting and changing and nothing is ever really stable. But that's because you're always shifting and changing and never really trying to create stability in your life, always moving to the next thing. I'm sorry I'm dragging y'all, but listen, I got a Libra rising, so we here. All right. So we have hexagram 35, and I will read from the little booklet right now. See, I like this. Hexagram 35, progress. Above fire, below earth. Fire over the earth. A leader arises, as the King of Wands just came out. Sunrise brings the new day, and progress can be made as the light increases. In the same way, an undertaking can profit from the emergence of a new leader who shines light on the dark places. This may be a person whose influence endures as the sun reigns in perpetuity. I think I said that word right. Or it may be as fleeting as a shooting star that flames across the sky and is gone. Seize the opportunity to advance. Again, Libra, with the High Priestess and the Ace of Wands coming out, and then the King of Wands coming out in the final shuffle. When you feel in your gut that something is for you, do not be afraid to take it. Don't play yourself by trying to constantly think through it. Because I think, I honestly do truly feel that the month of August is going to be about following your heart and listening to what your heart is telling you to do. And neglecting to do that, you end up in that Hermit 5 of Cups energy where you're getting stuck in these quote-unquote missed opportunities and trying to figure out why they didn't work, or just feeling isolated from these new opportunities. But it's a matter of, for one, you not being afraid to go after them, and two, you being willing to be open and honest about how you really feel. Libra, stop just telling people that, oh, I'm fine, oh, don't worry about it, and stop giving people these surface level explanations of Hermit card again. Stop giving these people surface level explanations of how you're feeling, and stop being a fair weather friend as well. It's okay to get real with people. I know growing up, a lot of Libras didn't feel as though they could be real with people because they were always having to deal with others' issues, so they would neglect their own, very much so Virgo energy, in order to take care of others. This is not the time to do that. If you neglect your own heart during Leo season, you will pay the consequences for it by just feeling shitty. And nobody wants to feel shitty in Leo season. That's the fucking party. But anyway, Libra, that's all I have for you. And yeah, if you would like to book a personal reading, I will leave all of those details and things below, as well as my social media. And yeah, peace.